Hello everyone, welcome back to the computer fundamental classes. In this class we are going to discuss fixed and variable length memory. Fixed and variable length memory. Yes, what we are going to discuss in this class? In this class we are going to discuss fixed and variable length memory. See, before discussing this concept, we need to understand what you mean by memory. Okay, what you mean by memory? See, memory and storage, there are two things. Memory and storage, there are two things. See here, the storage and memory. What it tells, the storage. See, someone asks you how much capacity you have in your memory for storing the information, right? How much capacity you have in your mobile. For example, in some one mobile, 32 GB capacity I have to store any information like videos, text, audio, anything, images. So what is that? We can say the storage capacity that provides for to store the information whichever you needed. For example, hard disk. Okay, hard disk or secondary storage device, we can say. Okay, what it does, how much capacity is available for storing your information whichever you needed. Okay, that is called as storage. Comes to the memory. What is memory? Memory in the sense it provides, memory in the sense it provides your working space. Here also we have a space. Here we can work on your data. We can work on your data whatever is stored inside memory. Okay, for example, you stored 10, 9, 20 in memory. I want to work, I want to do one task, addition of two numbers. So, if you want to do addition of two numbers, we need two numbers 10 and 20 from memory. So, that is called as working space. So, what are the example of memory? For example, RAM. You know already in your mobile, every mobile have a RAM, random access memory. Okay, already installed memory, don't worry. Okay, the amount of RAM installed in the computer, for example, 2 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, 6 GB, 8 GB. Okay, that is called as memory. Now, here there is a concept fixed and variable length memory. Fixed and variable length memory. Okay, what is fixed and variable length memory here? See, fixed means we cannot change, right? Fixed means is fixed or static. Variables means we can change. The variable means automatically it can change. Okay, then length, it has some length. Okay, so for example, assume this is our memory. Assume this is a memory in your mobile or in your computer. Every memory organization is very important. We need to know memory organizations. How? See, the every memory has some cells, or we can say blocks, right? So this is a block. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 blocks memory. So every block has a one memory address. Every block has a one memory address. For example, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105 up to n numbers of how many blocks we have in memory, that is called as the memory address. For example, 1 GB RAM. Suppose in our mobile we have a 1 GB RAM, right? What it means, we can store the data up to 1 GB. That means that can contain 1024 megabytes. 1024 megabytes, right? So like this, that can store the information in every block. Here also you can store, here also you can store, here also you can store, here also you can store. Wherever you can space is available, you can store there only. Okay, then here what type of data we can store? What type of data that we can store according to which length we are going to store. For example, here there are two types of word length for storing the data in memory. Okay, One is fixed and variable word length. See, for example, here in this memory I can store one word that is called as BCA. Okay, in this word I can store BCA, right, like this. I can store BCA like this. That means every cells contains one character, or we can say BCA is a one word. Okay, it may be fixed word, it may be variable length word. That means sometimes it cannot change, sometimes it may be changed. Okay, so that is called as fixed and variable length. Okay, see here, there are two types of variable length word length. One is fixed, another one is variable. One is fixed, another one is variable. Word length memory, main memory of some computers can store fixed numbers of characters. See, assume here there is one computer. Some computers, there are some computers that can store the data in their memory fixed type word length, that can store only fixed type of word length characters, numbers of characters equal to its word length in bytes. For example, this is a computer, it is called as 4-bit memory that can store for one word. Okay, so equal to its word length in bytes in each numbered address location. See, for example, like this, here you can see this is 101, 102, 103, right, 104, like this. These are called as the address locations or address numbers which can store the data inside that location. Okay, so it may be in fixed, it may be variable. The every memory that contains the address locations to identify the data, the which location we are already store the data, right. So what do you mean by fixed word length? The fixed word length means such computers are said to be word addressable. That means the whatever the computer stores the fixed word length memory in main memory of some computers can store the fixed numbers of characters, that is called as fixed word length memory. Okay, so such type of computers are said to be word addressable and they employ fixed word length memory approach. What it means? See, such computers are said to be word addressable. Such computers are said to be word addressable. That means here this is one memory organization. I can store BCA is a one word as a fixed type length, in this computer, right. So such type of computers word addressable. See, for every word there is only one address. For BCA that contains only one location. See, for example, in 101 that contains BCA, 102 XYZ, 103 ABCD, like this, that contains in one location one word, in one address location that contains one word. That means word addressable, we can say that type of computer we can say word addressable, and they employ fixed word length memory approach, that is called as we can say fixed word length memory approach. Okay, so these computers always allocate storage space in multiples of word length, Okay, see, this is an example we can say. See, this is an example, right. See here. See, this is the example. Okay, so here there are some addresses, number address or word addressable, because this is fixed word length memory. Okay, so here therefore if a word addressable computer, assume this is a computer, in that computer this is a memory. Okay, if a word addressable computer has fixed word length of 4 bytes, that computer only have fixed word length of 4 bytes, only it can store 4 bytes at a time, 4 characters in memory. Okay, so it will require one word to store the word cat. See, here there is a cat, CAT, that means 3 letters. If you want to store that 3 letters in fixed word length memory, how many space we require? How many bytes we required. See, suppose if it is a 4 bytes, if it is a 4 bytes, but here we have 3 bytes, the remaining is 1 byte is unused. Okay, suppose here I used CAT, assume here CAT, or else say you can say for example, wait, I'll show you. Suppose I want to store cat here, ACA, assume this is cat. Okay, this is a word. I can store this cat is one word that contains 3 bytes, but I am storing this in 4 byte memory. I am storing in this is 4 byte memory. Okay, so assume this is 8 byte, but this is 4 byte memory, but the one is remaining unused. The one is remaining unused. Okay, so the 4 byte memory, it can store up to only 4 byte. It may be 3 bytes, 2 bytes, 1 byte is sufficient. It can maximum is only 4 bytes. C8 is 3 bytes. If you want to store here one more like this, you can take B up to 4. You can store the 4 bytes in one 4 bytes fixed word length memory. Okay, suppose if the computer has a 8 bytes word length memory that can store 8 bytes up to 8 bytes, that means up to 8 characters, but here they given one word that is called as Bombay. How many characters it contains? Only 6. Okay, because we are storing only Bombay, that means 6 characters in one location. That in which computer? 8 bytes fixed word length memory computer, but here we have only 6 bytes. Okay, but remaining 2 are the unused. The remaining 2 are the unused. This is called as the drawback of the fixed word length memory. Okay. So, what is the advantage? The faster in speed calculation than variable word length memory. This is a very fast calculations here rather than the variable word length memory. Okay. Where it is used? The normally it is used in large scientific computers for gaining speed of calculations. Large scientific calculation, okay, or large scientific computers for gaining speed of calculation. There only they are using fixed word length memory. And the what about variable length, right? What about variable length? Yes, the variable length memory. In many computers, main memory is designed to store a single character. You know already, every mobile, every computer has a main memory. Okay, how is it designed? The main memory is designed to store only single character, not word. In fixed word length, they are storing the word type that can store only words. Okay, here we can store the single characters in each cell. Single character in each cell, like A is one character, B is one character, 1, 2, these are the characters, or special characters like addition, subtraction, plus, minus, hash, at. So, these are the characters. We can store only one character in one single location at each numbered address, that is called as variable length memory. Okay. Then here the computer designed in this manner are said to be character addressable. If they designed the computer's memory like this, like it can store only single characters at each number address, that is we can say the character addressable, and they employ variable word length memory approach. Okay. So, here also hence in these computers only 3 bytes are required to store the word cat, but there in fixed word length memory they required 4 bytes, because that is fixed. The 4 bytes in the sense 4 bytes, you can store 1 byte, 2 byte, 3 byte, maximum is 4 byte, okay, minimum is 1 byte, but if you store only 3 bytes, the remaining 1 byte will be unused, the space will be unused. Okay. So, here there is no unused space for the data storing. You can store 1 byte, it can store only 1 byte space, if you want to store 2 bytes word, it can take only 2 bytes. Okay, so see here, the every locations has the memory address numbers, okay, like this. So here we can say address numbers, okay, like this. So here I am storing Bombay. How many characters are there? 6 characters. Only 6 characters, 6 bytes it taken to store the Bombay. But in here in fixed word length, that can takes 8 bytes space, that can takes 8 bytes space, but storing the only 6 characters in fixed word length, but remaining 2 are the unused, right? So here you can use 10 word characters, okay, 10 word that contains 10 word characters and 6 characters, 3 characters, okay, that can take only such that much of space. Okay, here see here in the location 0025 that can store B, in the location 0026 that store O, like this, that can store character by character, that is called as variable length memory, okay. So each memory location can store only one single characters, okay. Here the set of memory locations that can store in one location only one characters, like 0025 is a location that can store only B, 0027 is a location that can store only M, 0030 is a location that can store only Y, okay, that is called as variable length memory, okay. So it is slower speed of calculation than the fixed word length memory, okay. It is also one drawback. So it is one slower speed of calculation than the fixed length memory, okay. So when it is used, variable length memory used in small business computers, for optimizing the use of storage space, okay. So here in fixed word length memory, it can take huge memory space, okay. In scientific computers, large computers, they can use this type of memory, okay, fixed word length memory. But here in variable length memory, they are using in small business computers, because they are optimizing the use of this storage space, they are reducing the storage space. For example, 10 GB, 20 GB. If the 20 GB is taken in the fixed variable length memory, but in variable length memory it can fixed length memory it can take 20 GB, that's storing the data, okay. But here in variable length memory it can take only 15 GB, okay, because it optimizing the space, right. So after that, see, this is the difference we can say, okay. Then how you calculate the memory capacity, okay, how you calculate the memory capacity. For example, in someone friends ask XYZ, how many capacity you have in mobile for storing the data. He said 20 GB, 32 GB, 64 GB, 128 GB, okay. What they are saying, the capacity of storage space to store the information, that is called as memory capacity. How many data you can store in your memory, that is called as the storage capacity. What is that? The memory capacity of a computer is equal to the number of bytes that can store in its primary storage, okay. Suppose if you have a 2 GB storage, that can store how much? 1024 into that means 2048 MB. If you have 2 GB primary memory, that can store 2048 MB, that much data, okay. When you converting that bytes, that much you can store in your memory, okay. So these are some measurement, or we can say units. Suppose here the kilobyte means we can say KB. So 2:10 bits, that is called as 1024, sorry, 2:10 bytes, 1024 bytes, okay. So then when you say megabyte or MB, that means 2 is to 20, 2 is to 20 bytes. That means here 10,48,576. Okay. When you are saying 2 GB, 4 GB, okay. If you have a 1 GB data, 1 GB storage space, that can store this much of bytes in your memory. That means 2 is to 30 bytes. That means like this. Okay, you can store. So this is what how to calculate the capacity of memory. So that means in your memory, how many bytes you can store. How many bytes you can store, that is called as memory capacity. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, thank you.